Loki was a lot more campy than I thought it was going to be, but since Bruce Campbell is my spirit animal, I loved it. Okay, so I've only seen the first episode. My second episode review is probably going to be a few days late, just like this one, but then I'll start to be more on time with it. I'm sorry. Work is going to kick my butt for like another week. I can see how they were talking about how Loki will bleed into Doctor Strange 2, the Multiverse of Madness, and how we're getting more introductions to the multiverse, or this show is our first big introduction to the multiverse, and I love how they used a cartoon to break it down, and, you know, thankfully, nothing's gonna happen to cause timeline splits again and lead to a timeline war. Right? I mentioned this in my live chat on Wednesday. It's not a big deal. It just is kind of weird that Loki looks a lot older in this show than what he actually looks like in 2012 during the first Avengers movie. But there's 9 years between that Loki, or that Tom Hiddleston, and the Tom Hiddleston in this show. The Loki's the same age. But it's just interesting to me to see that he looks so much older in this show, even though it's right after 2012. I like how they showed that with the Infinity Stones, how they don't work outside the particular universe they are for, and also showing us that the TVA is outside of the universe and possibly in its own little pocket. I think that's something really great to start introducing to people that aren't into the comics and aren't into really going into depths and stuff and just want to watch the shows and movies and without them feeling overwhelmed, which I appreciate, because I don't think we need to be assholes to people that don't read the comics or be smug or go, well, actually. There was a lot of fan service in this show. I'm sure everyone, and I mean everyone, loved Tom Hiddleston naked. Dude is super ripped. The DB Cooper was just Tom Hiddleston looking suave as fuck, but also kind of fun to see the nod to that, I guess, because there's still some that claim he's out somewhere roaming and the true DB Cooper has never been caught. And that's definitely something the God of Mischief would do. Okay, I lost a bet, so now I'm going to hijack a plane, get a bunch of money, and then jump out of a plane and make the humans go, wait, why was this guy, like, never found? Owen Wilson as Mobius is so perfect. I love him so much. I really love the crew cut gray hair on him. I think it looks just absolutely phenomenal. I know we're all waiting for him to say, wow, at least once. You know they're going to. Disney, Marvel, MCU, they like to give us those little things that, you know, distract us from the despair of everyday life. Something I know that they're going to be playing around with in this show, besides deconstructing Loki and who he really is, you know, such as Mobius being, do you enjoy hurting people? Like, at your core, like, why do you do it? And then it's the typical thing we see of bullies. You know, I'm not happy with myself or my home life or something, so I attack other people and say really awful things to them to make myself feel better or to make myself feel more powerful. I also like that we're getting into talking about, you know, what are our choices and what is predetermined. And, you know, Steve going back and returning all the Infinity Stones, time traveling, that was okay because it was sanctioned by them, the timekeepers. They were like, all right, cool. That's what you're going to do. And I know that plays into a lot of people going, well, then Endgame was pointless. Like, they were all just puppets in this game. But I don't quite see it that way. Even if they were manipulated or puppets or pushed into a certain way, they were still the people that made the sacrifices and did the actions, and they had the capability and the courage, the guts, whatever you want to say, to actually go through with it. So I'm one of those people that believe that, let's say our lives are predetermined and there's a path we're definitely going to go down and we won't deviate from that. I still think that's just the path we would choose anyways, because at our core, that's who we are. So predetermined stuff really doesn't bother me too much, but I know for other people it can be a big deal and going, okay, well then what's the point? I'm guessing the Loki variant is female Loki. Lady Loki. I know some people get mad when I say Lady Loki. It's not a gender swapping thing. There is Lady Loki in the comics. Loki has taken many different forms, has had some interesting children. So if you're going to get upset about that and go, oh, Lady Loki variant, that's, you know, them trying to do feminazi stuff or whatever, it's not. It's literally based off of comics. There's canon for it. It's not some weird thing they're trying to pull over on you. Just hoping to head that off before we get people freaking out about Disney being woke or whatnot. I do like the idea of being a variant and going off of your path and then knowing how your life ends and the changes you can make. Something that creeps me out. I don't know if it creeps you out. I think about everything I'm stressing about and worrying about, and then I think of myself towards the end of my life. And what if I didn't accomplish all these things I wanted to do? And what if I thought I was doing the right thing, and then at the end of my life I was like, wow, this is kind of pointless. And then it makes me feel better about the present, because I'm like, oh, I need to stop stressing as much and not be so concerned about things, because, you know, that very well could be me in a few decades. So fuck it, let's roll. I am very sorry for the bureaucracy and the, you know, monotony of the TVA. For any of you that work in a office with lots of people, I'm sorry, this is probably giving you PTSD. So yeah, I think the first episode was great. I'm looking forward to seeing more Loki. Like I said, my second episode review will be a tad bit late, just like this review was. But then after that, I should be more on the ball and getting it done, you know, on Wednesdays. But let me know what you think, if you're excited for this series. If there's anything you're hoping to see, if there's anything you're hoping not to see, if you are super jazzed up, more so now with Doctor Strange 2, the Multiverse of Madness, because some timeline wars are likely going to happen or occur because of Loki and also that movie. So like, subscribe, and let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about the first episode. And if you were lucky enough to have access to the second episode, which I don't because I'm not good enough, let me know what you thought about that one.